Milwaukee, Great American Ballpark. Just a couple of minutes away from the first pitch. And if you missed it earlier, let's take a look at what's happened so far in this series. Both games have gone to extra innings, and the Cubs continue to get very good starting pitching. Travis Wood and Carlos Villanueva, each with no decisions, but certainly both pitching well enough to win. 23 innings so far in this series, and some power from guys you don't expect it. Cody Ransom and Darwin Barney.
Yeah, and Luis Valbuena hit a big home run the other night in the 13-inning game that the Reds ultimately won. Today, Jeff Samardzija will take the ball for the Cubs, looking for his second win of the year here at Great American Ballpark. He's 1-1 with a high ERA. Most of those appearances have been out of the bullpen. And for the Reds, they counter with their own big right-hander, Matt Latos. 5 starts against the Cubs. He's 2-2 with a 3.16 ERA. He's winless. He's got no decisions this year in 4 starts, despite a 2.73 ERA. So the run support just has not been there for either one of these guys. And you come into this ballpark, you expect high-scoring baseball, but the pitchers have really dominated through the first 2 games of this series.
Reds finishing up a long homestand. They'll be at Washington starting tomorrow night, and we'll head off to Miami. 4 games against the Marlins beginning tomorrow evening. Here's the Cubs Southwest starting lineup against the right-hander Latos. DeJesus back in the leadoff spot. Good numbers here in this ballpark. Julio Bourbon making his first start as a Cub. Castro will hit third. Anthony Rizzo cleaning up with no Alfonso Soriano in the lineup. Nate Scherholtz is in right. Former Red Deoner Navarro catching. Valbuena in for Barney at second. Ransom gets another start at third, and Samardzija still looking for hit number 1.
Defensively, the Reds shape up this way this afternoon. Paul gets a start in left field. Chu has converted from right to center since coming over from the Indians. And Jay Bruce, he's got a big arm out there in right. Infield, Frazier, Cozart, Phillips, Votto, and Mesoraco behind the plate for Matt Latos. He's our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for Cincinnati. And as I mentioned, 4 starts, no wins, no losses. But boy, look at those numbers. 4 walks, 29 strikeouts in 26 in the 3rd innings. He's tough. 14-game winner last year for the Reds.
And your umpires, Jordan Baker will get home plate, called up from the minor leagues for this series. The crew chief is Tim McClellan at first. At second is Jerry Meals, and Marvin Hudson over at third.
Hey, this might be the tallest umpiring crew in history with Baker and McClellan. Look at Jordan Baker back there. He's your power forward working the plate this afternoon. 6'7". There's Tim McClellan, the crew chief. Yeah. So, you know, the theory is, and I don't know if there's any merit to it, that tall umpires call high strikes and not the low strike. We'll find out. Jordan Baker's a young guy. He's made his major league debut last summer. So, everything you wanted to know about Jordan Baker.
Talking about the no decisions for Latos. He had 15 of them last year, tied with Cliff Lee of the Phillies for the major league lead. He had no decisions.
Came from Petco Park in San Diego, and so making the transition from that pitcher's park to this hitter's park, there were some concerns. But 9-3 with a 3.01 ERA here at the Great American Ballpark, so that has not been an issue. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, fastball, curve, slider, change. Throw the slider and the curveball more than the changeup. Doesn't feature that pitch very often.
And we are underway, and it's Earth Week. 90% of energy used during laundry is just for heating water. To drastically reduce your laundry's footprint and save on bills, turn that dial to cold. Green is universal.
Or just do what I do and do it in the tub in the hotel.
Swing and a miss.
Just take it in there in the shower. You multitask.
Rain delay officially 1 hour 29 minutes. It is 45 degrees.
This weather's been chasing the Cubs around the country. First 2 days here were pleasant, but it's back into the, well, not the deep freeze, but chilly, not baseball friendly conditions.
Two and one on the Cubs leadoff man. He started this series with a home run Monday night in the first inning. 2-2.
Latos, a big tall guy, takes advantage of his height, gets on top of the ball, drives it down into the strike zone. They first came up with the Padres. He sat right around 94 miles an hour. Really would hump up with that fastball. But the last couple of years, not so much. I think he's trying to create a little more movement, throwing more two-seamers, sacrificing a little velocity.
Line foul, out of play. Slow start for David, 2 for 21 in his first 7 games, but 405 over his last 11. Watched a little video of Latos. He's seen him before, but just wanted to get a look at his arm slot on the computer. It missed outside on a curveball, and it's 3-2. Throw a slider a lot more often than the curve. Very rare changeup as well. Fastball is hit in the air. Back of third. And no play. 3 Reds are in the area.
Well, no surprise to see David up there hitting 3-2. Usually works deep counts. That's what you like to see out of a leadoff guy. Make that guy work. Give everybody a good look at him.
Hit well out into right. Jay Bruce will make the catch. So DeJesus lines out. Took Latos 8 pitches to get him, however.
Yeah, it's good AB. You know, good lengthy at bat. End up putting a good swing on one, hit it hard, unfortunately, and at the right fielder.
Thanks to Patrick Mooney and Hall of Fame baseball writer Hal McCoy for joining us during our rain delay coverage. Always great to catch up with Hal. Julio Bourbon with the cornerman in. Takes a strike. Cubs got him on waivers from Texas on Friday, and this is his first start. He's in for Soriano. Alfonso not starting for the first time this season. 1-1.
Soriano gets a day. Darwin Barney has the day off.
Slightly open stance for Bourbon, and he takes a strike. He was born in Starkville, Mississippi, but went to high school in the Dominican Republic. In fact, moved there when he was about 3. Very fluent in both English and Spanish. I asked him today, do you think and dream in one language or the other? He said, you know, usually I think in the language that I've been speaking a lot lately. So when he's back in the Dominican Republic, the thoughts in his head come to him in Spanish. And when he's speaking a lot of English, he thinks in English.
That's a very esoteric question that you asked him.
Well,
I never would have pondered that.
Yeah, 2 languages, you often wonder. And he was born here and grew up there. So that's why I asked. He even talked about learning the dialect. I mean, he was born in Mississippi, so certainly a southern accent there. But if you talk to him today, you would have no idea where he's from. You'd just think he's from the United States.
So he speaks Spanish, English, and Mississippi. Covers all 3 of those languages.
I have cousins in Mississippi, and we have a hard time understanding each other. Another full count This will be the 15th pitch already for Latos. And it's off the foot of the pitcher. Latos has time to recover and gets him. And kind of jogging it off. Dusty Baker kind of put his hands up as if to say to Latos, are you all right? And it looks like he is, but I think Dusty's going to make sure.
Latos is going to continue to walk it off a little bit, so they're going to go out and double check. So Bourbon, like DeJesus, nothing to show for a good at bat, a good lengthy at bat. He hits the ball hard as well. Off that right foot. Does a nice job, the big man, recovering and making a play on the speedy Bourbon, pointing down to his toe, it looks like. Says, I'm all right, I'm good. I'm not going to let it. Baby toe take me out of the game.
So he'll take a couple of warm-up tosses just to make sure. It just mean have we seen
that dog's barking right now on it.
Have we seen an inordinate amount of hard hit balls right back to the pitcher here?
We have. We have.
Well, that's something to keep an eye on as this game progresses.
Drop a bunt, see if he can go get it.
Starlin Castro hitting third. 0 for 4 last night with a walk. Snapped a single season career high 14 game hitting streak. And he's still flexing that right foot. Sure, there's some hockey defensemen watching out there who take pucks off the skate all the time, saying, come on, Matt. Happens to me twice a shift. On a bounce to Phillips to end the Cubs first. Reds coming up against Jeff Samardzija when we come back. Up. Pretty normal 1 through 7. Chu, Cozart, Votto, Phillips, Bruce, Frazier, rather 1 through 6, and then 7, 8, 9. You've got Paul in left, Mesoraco back in there behind the plate, and Latos, the pitcher.
Cubs defensively in the past year, it's DeJesus in center, flanked by Bourbon and Schierholtz. left and right. Cody Ransom solid in his Cub debut last night. Castro Valbuena in the middle, Rizzo over at first, and Deanna Navarro is doing the catching today for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher. And it's 28-year-old right-hander Jeff Samardzija, among the league leaders in strikeouts with 31 of those in 26 and 2/3 innings. He's 1-3 with a .338 earned run average.
And he'll face maybe the hottest offensive performer in the game right now, Shin-Soo Choo, who has reached base in 18 of his last 23 plate appearances. 6 singles, 2 doubles, 7 walks, 3 hit by pitches.
And on base percentage at a ridiculously high .535.
Bounced up the middle. Nice play by Valbuena, simply to keep it out of the outfield, but it'll be an infield hit for Choo.
So Choo taking a different approach than did DeJesus in the top of the inning. DeJesus working a lengthy at bat. Choo goes up there hacking and gets himself a little infield knock. Reds rather have not done a lot of running this year. They've stolen 8 bases, been caught 6 times. They have so much power in their lineup. I don't think they are inclined to take too many chances on the bases. Now with Samardzija out there, that might be a different story.
Pretty good lead by Choo. And the pitch to Cozart is low. He is without a hit in the series, 0 for 8 with a walk and a sac bunt. Reds finishing up a 10-gamer. They're 7-2 on this homestand. Well, based on what these two starting staffs have done lately, on paper it doesn't look like there will be a lot of offense. Red starters on this homestand with a 1.71 ERA. The Cubs starting staff with a 3.04 season ERA, 3rd best in the league. It's Carlos Villanueva, who was terrific last night.
He did not get the win, but he was the primary reason why the Cubs won the game. He was dealing. Give him a moral victory.
Tony Cingrani was really good as well, and something going on with Jeff Samardzija. I wonder if there's a blister.
Yeah, looking at his throwing hand. I didn't realize he got a piece of that comebacker.
Okay. Maybe caught one of those digits. So both pitchers actually getting hit by a batted ball here in the first inning. Kind of thing too. It kind of hits the tip of your finger, go a little numb. You just lose the feel there.
Just on a cold day like today, and boy, both these managers want to see these.
Oh, it's bloody. Look at that. Look like the index finger right around the nail is bleeding.
Yeah.
Check out our Firestone Extra Mile Index. And Reds right up there with St. Louis, Atlanta, and the Red Sox.
And just 3 wins though for the Cubs starting rotation despite all that good work.
Choo takes off. Cozart pops it up, and they're going to double him off. Nice deke there by Starlin Castro as Choo actually slid into second. So that's a double play.
Well, we talked about the Reds not doing a lot of running. In this instance, they put a little hit and run play on with a struggling hitter in Kozar, trying to create some openings on that infield. Doesn't do you much good, though, when you pop it up. And there you see the deke by Castro. He's toast. He's got no chance.
Fouled away by Joey Votto.
Fun to watch Samardzija pitch, boy. He is all business, very aggressive on the mound, gets the ball back. He's ready to go to work, attacking with that high-octane heater.
Votto went around 0-2. One hit last night, a game-tying RBI single in the bottom of the ninth. Other than that, pretty quiet so far in this series.
1 out of 11 in his career against Samardzija. Features one of the best fastballs in baseball. That one clocked at 96 miles an hour. Cutter, slider, split finger pitch. And a split finger literally right now.
Right.
Ooh, yeah, I'm walking off with you. Shooting for that outside corner, just a little bit off the edge.
Doesn't hurt asking, right?
No. Try to sell it a little bit. Didn't want to show up the young umpire, though. He took like one step and then immediately bounced back up on top of the rubber. What you fear with both these guys now, Leto's getting dinged in the foot, and Samardzija continuing to have problems with the finger. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on with him, but you don't want to see a guy compromise his delivery to pitch away from the pain of an injury and end up putting undue stress on his arm.
Fouled away.
And you just don't know what it does to his repertoire either. You don't know if he can throw a certain pitch because of the finger, if that takes his split finger pitch out of play, for instance.
Lined into right for a base hit.
Looked like the splitter right there. Votto's so good after all those fastballs, stays back, wields that magic wand.
Well, the thing is, you can't just tape it up. You can't put a Band-Aid on it. On that pitching hand, and it looks like between every pitch, Samardzija's cleaning off the blood. I guess blood's not considered a foreign substance.
Well, you know, I've played with a lot of guys that would try it if it worked. If you could get the ball to move a little bit. I mean, we've had scuff balls, spit balls, shine balls, wax balls. Who knows? Yeah, I remember old Haas Radborn. He threw that blood ball.
Inside on Phillips, 1-1. Get a pretty good look at it. Slider missed high, 2-1. And Jeff just doesn't quite look comfortable at the moment. You can understand why.
The first inning was his undoing last time out in Milwaukee. They ambushed him. They hit for the cycle against him in the first, put 4 runs on the board. After that, he was really good. And allowed just one more run, a solo home run to Carlos Gomez in the 7th inning, I believe.
Votto runs on the 3-1, swung on and missed by Phillips. The throw right on the money. Navarro gets his good friend Joey Votto. They worked out together over the winner. Scoreless after 1. Tweets with Cubs in-game live. Only at CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class. I want to welcome those viewers watching us on the MLB Network this afternoon as well. Cubs and Reds scoreless in the second. The storyline early. Each pitcher getting hit by a batted ball. Latos on the right foot. Samardzija on the right index finger, but both able to get through the first inning without any runs.
We will keep a close eye on both these guys, see how they go or how they handle it going forward. Obviously, training staff will be alert. Managers see any little change in their delivery. If they're favoring it, we may see a change. I'm guessing Latos is good to go, and my suspicion is that Samardzija will be just fine too. Probably more of an annoyance than anything right now.
Rough series for Rizzo at the plate. 0 for 11.
In a place where most visiting players love to come and hit here in Cincinnati, but so far it's been a rough go for Anthony. 5 punch outs in that 0 for 11. Now that average down to $1.78.
Here's the 0-1. Hit well out into right center. Chu will get there. Mentioned corner outfielder, but now playing center here with the Reds. Not as much territory to cover in this ballpark as in a lot of others.
Come out and enjoy beautiful Wrigley Field all season long. Tickets are available for the next homestand, including tickets in the Budweiser bleachers. Padres, Reds, and Cardinals will all be in town. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
The 0-1 to Scherholtz is low. Well, I saw you were perusing Fangraphs and you noticed Nate is among the line drive percentage leaders.
Yes, he was. He's in the top 10. Well, guy's been hitting for a high average all year long. Stands to reason. He's been making a lot of solid contact.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5 in a row set down by Latos.
Good depth on that breaking ball towards the back foot. You saw on a little spray chart there, working all 4 quadrants of the strike zone. Nate Scherholz is 6th in baseball with a 31.3 line drive percentage.
Wow.
That means 31.3% of the time he's hitting a line drive.
Switch hitting Diana Navarro. Strange number for him. 4 for 8, 2 homers as a pinch hitter, but as a starting catcher, 0 for 16. By the way, his backup today, normally the starter, Wellington Castillo, celebrating his 26th birthday.
Birthday he shares with Chipper Jones and Omar Vizquel, among others.
Both a little older than Wellington.
Just a hair. There's that fastball I was talking about. Latos first came up. It was more of a power game with 4-seamers, and he'd elevate it, work up in the zone. Now trying to throw more 2-seamers, trying to get early contact with that approach.
A fly ball in the left field, but it's twisting out of play as Paul got over to that sidewall. Not much foul ground once you get to that part of the park. A former Padre, Matt Latos, with a 2-2, and another one popped. This one into center. Chu puts 2 hands on it, and that's the inning. The Cubs go down in order for the 2nd inning to start this game. Comcast Sportsnet is your home for the most in-depth coverage of the Bulls-Nets playoff series. Tune in tomorrow night at 7 for live coverage from the United Center as the Bulls and Nets get ready for Game 3 at the Madhouse. Bulls and Nets Game 3. Watch it tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. We saw Samardzija sprint down through the Cubs dugout into the tunnel and up into the clubhouse. You can't put a Band-Aid on the finger, but needs something to stop that bleeding. And he's still been looking at that finger between warm-up pitches. A strike on the outside. Phillips was at the plate when Votto was caught stealing to end the 1st inning. Well, I do have a styptic pencil if you'd like to borrow it.
Well, oh man, that was nasty. Turbo sinker there. Yeah, I'm wondering if they have some kind of a liquid Band-Aid or something they could have put on there. Yeah, obviously you got to try to heal it, try to patch it up, but you also you got to be able to pitch.
Well, it's not quite Kurt Schilling with the bloody sock, but trying to gut his way through here early on. 1-2. Deep breath by Samardzija, and his 1-2 pitch called strike 3. Nasty breaking ball to get Phillips.
Scouts talk a lot about mound presence when they talk pitching, and Samardzija's got it in spades. It's you know, he's the predator. It's like, let's get it on, boys.
Jay Bruce, first homer of the season on Monday, and he sends a soft liner over the head of Ransom and into left. Time now for our Coors Light Freeze Cam. Matt Latos in the top of the first, taking one off his right foot, and then Jeff Samardzija off the finger. Don't reach that hand up there.
Yeah,
instinct takes over.
They pay a lot of money to those guys behind you. Let them make the plays.
Former All-American wide receiver wants to catch everything, but Frazier nothing for 9 in the series with a walk.
You know who was really good at letting those go?
Who's that?
Greg Maddux.
Right.
He was.
Yeah.
I mean, he got so many ground balls. And that's the thing that always bothered me. He said, well, it's instinct to go for it. Well, he was really smart. And he said, I know where my guys are.
Bourbon with the catch about 5 feet in front of the warning track.
Who's the best fielding pitcher you ever saw?
Maddux.
Maddux is certainly one of them. Mike Hampton used to make a lot of plays. He'd make some mistakes, but he was so athletic. And I remember back in the day, Ron Darling, too, was really good. Jim Cott, of course,
yeah,
Kitty won like 100 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, I didn't see Cott play as much as you did. Mark Burley, really good defensive pitcher.
Was it last year or 2 years ago? He made the
opening day between the legs.
That's just showing off.
Xavier Paul 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter in this series. He gets the start in left. Backdoor slider for a strike.
Looks like that thing is continuing to ooze blood.
And you can see some on that Rawlings logo. Swing and a miss.
He's like a fighter. He's going to have to go to his corner after each round and get treatment.
Popped him up over near the first base dugout. Rizzo gets over there quickly, but will not have a play.
In the NBA, you have to come out of the game. You're bleeding, right? Of course, you have a lot of contact with other players in baseball.
Yeah, again, the interesting thing is You can have blood on your finger, but not a Band-Aid. Missed outside. Although I would say, if given the choice to have one, I'm sure he wouldn't want it.
No, he wouldn't be able to feel the ball like you need to feel the ball.
Swing and a miss to end the inning. Samardzija probably headed right back into the clubhouse.
Cut me, Mick. Third in Cincinnati, the 8th annual Cubs Charities Race to Wrigley 5K run presented by Athletico takes place on Saturday, May 11th. Starting at Wrigley Field, participants will run around the neighborhood and finish under the legendary marquee at Clark and Addison. This year, runners who raise $1,000 or more are able to run a post-race victory lap around the warning track. Participants who raise $500 or more can enjoy brunch inside the ballpark following the race. To register, visit racetorwrigley.com. You gonna run, Len?
If my schedule allows. Are we in town? What's the date?
May
11th. To look it up. We are in Washington. I'll go run around the Capitol. Ball one on Luis Valbuena, who's playing second.
Plato's a little funky the way he stabs the ball behind him right there.
Caught the corner, 1-1. Menard's big lumber stat. Luis Valbuena comfortable in this ballpark. Not a ton of at bats, 28. In the dirt to make it 2-1. Latos was born in Virginia, but attended Coconut Creek High School in South Florida. Went to Broward Community College and was an 11th round pick of the San Diego Padres. One of last night's heroes, Cody Ransom, on deck. 2-2 is hit in the air to left. Paul will now drift back a couple of steps. It's like the wind might help the hitters just a little bit today.
It's kind of funky the way he pursued that one.
Now Ransom, who homered on his first pitch as a Cub last night.
Setting the bar awfully high when you do that in a new uniform with the first pitch you see.
Slider strike. Lots of day action. Trying to keep you posted on everything. Blue Jays and Orioles 5-5 in the 8th. Another one on the outside corner.
Reds gave a pretty good package to get Latos from San Diego. Edinson Volquez, Yonder Alonso, Yasmani Grandal, all going the other way in that deal.
And with Alonso going to the Padres, it helped the Padres decide they wanted to add some pitching, acquiring Andrew Kashner from the Cubs for Anthony Rizzo. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Well, the Reds are pretty well set with Joey Votto at first base. That made Alonso expendable.
Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action. It's like Jeff running into the end zone.
Dun, 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 dun. Got a lot of energy.
One strike on him. Here's a pitch. Make it 0-2.
Doesn't get cheated either. That'd be a big day at the yard. Pitch a shutout, hit a home run, and bleed the whole time you do it.
I find myself distracted by the finger because he is. Keeps looking at it. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Latos 9 up, 9 down to start this one. Career road home run. It was a game winner in the 10th inning, and little did we know there was catcher interference on the home run. Apparently Barney got a piece of Corky Miller's glove.
Yeah, very hard to see. Maybe got a string or just tipped the edge of it. But I told him this morning, you're like Manny Ramirez. You're strong as a bull doing that. Hitting the catcher's mitt, still going deep.
1-1 on the catcher, Devin Mesoraco. Bounces one foul right to Chris Spire.
I got a nice jump on that ball. He's playing Mesoraco a step to pull.
There might not be a better fungo hitter in the game today than Chris Spire. You need him to hit a pop-up, he'll hit a pop-up. Wherever he wants to.
Oh, don't hit the pitcher. I'll put a sign up in the yard.
Yeah.
Please don't hit the pitcher. Like the NFL. Protect our pitchers.
It's their 4th hit already.
Litos will be asked to drop down at sacrifice punt here. You know, Jimmy Reese, longtime coach with the Angels. You know, you've heard the stories about Jimmy Reese. He was a roommate of Babe Ruth once. Nolan Ryan named one of his sons after him. Stories about Jimmy Reese was that he would not throw, but serve batting practice with a fungo. He'd flip it up and hit it to home plate.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's better than average.
Litos already showing bunt. Ball 1. Ransom right on top of him. Rizzo charging hard as well from first.
Ransom looks like he's playing fast pitch softball. He's not even going to back off. He's halfway to home plate. Litos is waving his arm down there at Chris Spire. Wants to see the signs again.
He has 3 career home runs.
With all this sign giving, Ransom's going to backpedal just a little bit.
And he swings away and lifts it in the air to right. Sherholtz over near the line. And he leaps and can't make the catch. It's out of play.
And ball just slicing away from Sherholtz. Took it as far as he could. Just ran out of real estate. And clearly Ransom, the way he is defending this bunt situation, is affecting the approach by the Reds here.
Put in on Litos.
Another slug bunt attempt, but at the end he's just trying to get out of the way. A little chin music from Samardzija. Sure, not intentionally.
2-2.
Litos fails to get the sacrifice down here. A big assist to Cody Ransom. All the pressure he's put on him has affected his approach. That's why he's pulled the bat back, tried to swing it a couple times.
Showing bunt again on a 2-2. Wow. Chop that one foul. Tomahawk foul ball.
You still don't have a whole lot of time to get set. You pull that bat back, and you're just trying to take a short stroke and get on top of it. Hit a line drive or punch one through the infield.
Full count.
Pitcher's #1 job when somebody's up there trying to bunt is make sure you throw them a strike, especially at this stage of the ball game. You're not trying to pitch away from the bunt. Go ahead and let them get it down, make sure you get it out.
Base hit into center, and they have 2 on with nobody out. What a battle there by Matt Litos.
Yeah, pretty eventful at bat for Litos, and he ends up winning the battle. solid line drive single to center field. Looked like DeJesus was contemplating coming in trying to make a shoestring catch on that ball, but ultimately decided to play it on a hop. And a lot of pitches seen, and ultimately Latos wins the battle. Getting his gear on.
Shin-Soo Choo takes ball one.
Couldn't have missed by much.
First time through the order, the Reds had 5 singles off Samardzija. 2-0. Swung on and missed. As he tries to get back into the count.
Yeah, how about that? First and second, nobody out. 2-0, and he comes with an off-speed pitch. That's confidence in your secondary pitches right there. A situation where he cannot afford to walk this man and load the bases with nobody out.
Mesoraco and Latos back-to-back singles to start the inning. Samardzija now at the belt. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2.
So now you're asking yourself, if you're Navarro and Samardzija, is he just not seeing that splitter? Do we throw him another one, or is he going to make the adjustment and stay back a little bit better here?
They go with a slider that time, just off the plate. Probably isn't a guy in the big leagues right now seeing pitches better than Choo is. Big 3-2 for Samardzija. Call strike 3. No argument from Choo.
Like they went back to the splitter, top of the zone split finger pitch. Choo not able to pull the trigger. Could have gone either way. Normally this pitch is not called a strike. Rule book says it's a strike.
Cozart popped into a 4-3 double play in the opening inning, and he swings and misses. Second round pick out of Ole Miss back in 2007. Samardzija won his season debut on opening day in Pittsburgh. Had 13 strikeouts in his next start in Atlanta. That was a loss. Quality start against the Giants. 6 innings, 2 runs, a 3-2 defeat. And then, as you mentioned, had a bad first inning in Milwaukee in his last outing and took the loss there. Today he's trying to get through an injured finger suffered in the very first inning. It's been a battle for him here in April. Outside.
His average fastball velocity 94.7 miles per hour, behind just Matt Harvey and Steven Strasburg, according to Fangraphs.
Poor gentleman had his beverage up on the ledge right behind the backstop, and that foul ball knocked it off.
Don't you win something for that?
Just not your day, I guess. No, you lose something.
Don't get a Cupid doll or anything.
And he got him. 2 down. So the 8 and 9 hitters reaching on hits. The 1 and 2 hitters both striking out this inning.
Cozart is barely above 200 coming into this game. He's really scuffling. Samardzija making effective use of that split finger pitch with he and Chu. There's the first pitch get over slider to get the jump on Votto. It's 25 of his 58 pitches thus far coming here in this inning. Ooh, that's a good pitch.
Got him on the inside corner. The comeback sinker to end the inning. So 2 on, nobody out. He gets the red hot Shin-Soo Choo. Then Cozart swinging. And Votto to end it. This 4th inning is brought to you by the new Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Live Moss. It's Earth Week. Just because you've jogged your sneakers into the ground doesn't mean it's time to trash them. Recycle them to give them a new life. That material could morph into a track, a basketball court, or even a playground. Green is universal. That's a good note. I didn't realize you could recycle your shoes. Well, different paths to get to where we are, but Latos and Samardzija shutting out their opponent today. Latos on no hits through 3, Samardzija on 5.
And battle of big right-handers. We thought it would be a low-scoring game. So far, that has been the case. Cubs looking for their first base runner. DeJesus had a good AB starting the ball game. Worked a deep count, full count, and then hit a line drive to right.
And ball 1. Outside corner, well placed by Latos. Bourbon and Castro also due up this inning. Cozart right near second.
Planning a special day or night at Wrigley Field? Personalize your visit by purchasing a special message to be seen on the center field scoreboard. Messages are posted in the middle of the fifth inning, and all proceeds benefit Chicago Cubs charities. For more information or to purchase your scoreboard message, visit Cubs.com/scoreboard messages.
That's thumped to deep right. Jay Bruce will have to chase it down. Bourbon into second. He slides safely. First hit for the Cubs.
And a no doubter, a ringing double off the bat of Bourbon. You do not want to make any assumptions when running the bases on Jay Bruce. He's got a cannon out there in right field, so go hard out of the box, go hard all the way. Bourbon does, and he's on with a one-out double. That ball got out there in a hurry and it got back in fairly quickly, too.
First base runner, Latos now from the stretch against Starlin Castro. Normally the two-hitter. He's hitting third. Rizzo moving down to 4 with Soriano out.
They play Castro the other way in the outfield. They play him to pull on the infield. Frazier is anyway, stepped towards the line. Cozart not really playing pull. You see Phillips way over there by the base and Votto way off of first, and then the outfield alignment shifted the other way. And if you watch Castro hit, that makes sense. It's a lot of balls to right center.
Pitch on the way and missed to make it 2-1. And now the Reds are in second place, tied with surging Milwaukee.
9 in a row, is it, for the Brewers?
9 straight. Each team a half game behind St. Louis. 4 of the 5 teams in this division are over 500. 2-2. Pirates have won 11 of their first 20.
Reds division winners last year, as they were in 2010. Many picking them to win this division again this year. They're a very balanced club. They pitch well, score a lot of runs.
Castro frozen. Doesn't happen all that often. It's out number 2. And we would love to hear from you. Send us your comments on today's game through Twitter using hashtag Cubs Talk, and we'll read our AT&T tweet of the game a little later.
And the other thing this club does really well is catch the ball defensively. Really good. A couple nights ago they kicked it around, but
yeah, they had 5 errors coming into this series and have committed 5 in the series alone. Rizzo out in the deep center. Chu back on the warning track. He leaps and he's got it. So Rizzo has squared up a couple of them today, but nothing to show for it. Not saved a run. We're still scoreless. Franklin for the latest edition of Sports Talk Live. Sun-Times sports writer Rick Morrissey will join the panel, plus hear from Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith. Get a lively debate on the day's hottest sports topics on Sports Talk Live, presented by Smirnoff, tonight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Big-time defensive play by Chu, robbing Anthony Rizzo of an RBI hit. So the Reds will bat in the fourth. They've had at least one hit in each of the first 3 innings against Jeff Samardzija. Overcast skies. We had a 1 hour 29-minute delay before we started. Blooped into center. DeJesus slides, and he makes a catch.
Well, Samardzija took care of business in the third after back-to-back singles, striking out the side. Now a little help from his defense as David DeJesus closes in a hurry. This ball right off the end of the bat of Brandon Phillips, and here comes DeJesus to put it away. Dave Raymond will have that for you tonight on MLB Full Count.
Two excellent plays by the center fielders. The sun is starting to come out. And there may be some Cub defenders who wish they had their sunglasses.
Samardzija has that little turn in his delivery at the top. He kind of meant to keep his weight back. You see Felix Hernandez, King Felix, the Mariners, he's got a similar move. Prevent you from rushing, from flying open or drifting down the rubber, or down the mound rather, too quickly. Finger's still annoying Samardzija.
On the ground, picked up by Valbuena, and he'll get him. So with 2 outs, it'll be Todd Frazier. How about David Price? 5 starts, and the Rays haven't won any of them. Only other team to lose the first 5 starts by a reigning Cy Young winner, the 1989 Twins. They lost Frank Viola's first 7.
And when he ultimately traded to the Mets that year?
I could look it up. 89. All right. Sounds about right. Swing and a miss, 1-1. He was.
That man could pitch. Sweet music.
July 31st trade. Twins and Mets, 1989. Rick Aguilera, Kevin Tapani. Part of the package that went the other way.
These guys pitched very well after joining the Twins. Helped them win a World Series.
Samardzija issuing his first walk. How about this? The Orioles last night with a 4-3 win over the Blue Jays. They have won 100 consecutive games with a lead after 7. Haven't lost since August of 2011 with a lead going into the 8th.
It's pretty amazing.
That's through Navarro and allows Frazier to advance.
It'll go as a wild pitch, but Leonard not able to drop down and get a piece of that one, keep it in front. He's had some problems back there. Just a little late reacting and wasn't able to drop down square up behind it and block it with his chest protector. Catchers usually run into trouble when they try to trust their hands and just pick the ball in the dirt as opposed to trying to block it.
Three 3-0 Mesoraco on deck. Not sure it ever got above 30 degrees yesterday in Denver as the Braves swept the Rockies in a day-night doubleheader. Ball 4. Mentioned this last night, and we've got our news and notes coming up, but the Upton brothers went back-to-back. Very rare occurrence.
Number 11 for Justin.
The Wainers did it back in 1938. Backhanded by Castro. We'll get those news and notes again when we come back. Scoreless at the end of 4 from Cincinnati. We get into the 5th. So we're mentioning the Uptons as the Braves stay hot, even though it was really cold in Denver. They're 15-5. The Brewers, the hottest team in baseball, with 9 consecutive wins, their longest streak in 10 years. And a bunch of postponements due to weather already this season.
I'm surprised there's only been 15 games postponed, given how much the weather's been in the news around Major League Baseball.
And all those postponements in the last 2 weeks.
So you referenced Paul and Lloyd Wainer, Big Poison and Little Poison.
Yeah.
And, mostly for the Pirates, 20s, 30s, 40s. Paul Wainer, the Hall of Famer. So he was Big Poison. Big Poison was 5'8", $153.
Little Poison was actually an inch taller.
Must have been the big came because he was a better hitter. 333 lifetime hitter was Big Poison, Paul Wainer. Lloyd was no slouch, though.
High fly to left off the bat of Scherholtz, and this is Paul.
Well, this is fun. Cubs Reds at Wrigley on Saturday, May 4th. Game time is 12:05, but come early. It's Derby Day, as you may know, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a women's Derby hat modeled there by Anthony Rizzo. That's compliments of MasterCard. Cubs.com for tickets.
The Wainers with 5,611 combined hits. Lined right to the third baseman, Frazier.
Little Poison's a Hall of Famer, too.
Yeah, they had.
Wasn't sure of that.
Both had really good careers. Baseball Reference's bullpen page. Paul quoted as saying this about his brother Lloyd: "He is a better player than me and can spot me 25 feet and then beat me in a sprint."
The older brothers are always looking out for their kid brother. Or did you say Lloyd said that about Paul?
Paul said that about Lloyd. So
who's on first?
Yeah. So the 5,611 hits, the most hits by a set of brothers. The Alous and the DiMaggio's second and third, but they had 3. So just 2 Wainers.
Yeah. Now, what if you threw the whole clan in there? You know, if you threw Moises in there with the other Alous. I wonder how that would do.
I'm guessing, yeah, they would pass them because they were only like 600 hits behind. Latos will tag Valbuena as he has a little chat with the home plate umpire. And that'll conclude our conversation about the Wainers. It's 0-0. So Margin Latos battling through first inning minor injuries. And Latos, who singled in his first at bat, apparently went around. 1 strike on him. Got a lot of mascots here in Cincinnati. They have set the record. They have 3, correct?
Yeah, we got Mr. Red and
Rosie Red,
and
Gapper.
So are Mr. Red and Rosie, are they an item? Are they married? They're just friends?
They're just friends. Latos strikes out.
Revenge there for Samardzija. Latos hit a bullet off him last time. Put up a good feisty at bat, initially trying to bunt. Nope.
Oh, I loved his reaction.
Thinking, what am I doing?
After he tried to and did not touch the ball, he basically wanted to tell his teammates, I didn't touch it.
He reaches out. Closey's like, I'm good, we're good here. Nothing to see. Everybody just stay where you need to be.
Strike call.
It appears like they've got the bleeding to stop anyway.
Well, he walks around on the mound with a purpose. There's no wasted effort. A chopper that draws Ransom in. He'll barehand, can't get anything on the throw, and Cozart has a 2-out infield single.
Not one that Cozart will be particularly proud of, but the way he's been going lately, he'll take it. It's a knock, just a little slow roller. Keeps the inning alive for Votto. But Cody had a changeup grip on that one when he threw it across the diamond. Cozart runs well, got a pretty good break, so you aren't going to get him anyway.
So that'll give Votto an opportunity with 1 on and 2 down. First check on the runner.
His teammates call Samardzija the shark. It reminds me more of like a caged lion at the zoo, you know, stalking around on the prowl. Look out, folks. Ooh, my goodness.
Some big dudes on the mound today. 6'5", 225 for Samardzija. Latos 6'6", 244.
A hard chunking right-handers.
High to Votto.
Always evaluating.
Yeah, he is.
You see it in his eyes. Yep, stepping out. Okay, here's what he threw. That's 1-1. What's he likely to come with? A lot of times he won't even leave the batter's box.
Cozart back in time. We have seen some very awkward swings from Votto in this series.
Well, you know, we got all these stats in baseball. We need to come up with one. Funky swings per hit, because he does. He takes, for such a good hitter, he takes a lot of funky swings.
That would seem to speak to the fact that he is a thinker and certain points may be overthinking.
Well, I think most hitters they don't qualify themselves as guess hitters. They're certainly playing hunches, right? They're looking for a fastball in a certain count, or looking for the ball in a certain area. And I guess when you're thinking along those lines, you're more likely to be fooled as opposed to just seeing it and reacting. But the guys like Samardzija throw 97 miles an hour. If you're going to catch up to that fastball, you got to get it started.
I guess the key for Votto in his mind is just not to put those balls in play. If you're going to take that swing, make sure you foul it off and give yourself another chance. That was a good rip.
Yeah, I don't know how many times over the years I've seen him have 2 or 3 real bad swings in an AB, and then he just hits a bullet somewhere.
Well, and it could also be partly by design. You never know. As good a hitter as he is, maybe setting up guys. Oh, man. Samardzija set him up there. That was nasty. He has struck him out twice today. Scoreless after 5. Tonight, just 3 games left in the Blackhawks' historic regular season. They're not going to play all 3 tonight, just 1. But don't miss the battle in Edmonton as the Hawks push their way toward the President's Trophy. Blackhawks and Oilers tonight at 8 on Comcast Sportsnet. A win tonight clinches the President's Trophy for the Blackhawks. Best record in the league.
Oh, okay. I was just going to ask you what the President's Trophy was.
Cody Ransom swings at the first one. Shallow center. Base hit. Well, Phillips racing out there. I thought Chu, the way he was going after it, he was going to catch it, but no.
A well-placed lob wedge by Cody Ransom to get things started. Seemed like Chu would have had the better chance at it.
So Samardzija will try to get Ransom to second. So I got a tweet from Joel Luckhaupt. And I think he's right. I hadn't thought about this. He says the Reds have 4 mascots. Might need a ruling here on the crew. Mr. Red, no mustache, swinging away on a hit and run as Ransom took off. Mr. Red Legs with the mustache. Rosie and Gapper.
Oh, really? I didn't know there were two Mr. Reds.
I guess there are. I don't know if all four are in attendance, and I don't know if you see Mr. Red and Mr. Redlegs in the same room at the same time. The pitch. It's low. 2-1.
Well, Reds vigorously defending this bunt here. You get into the the later stages of the game. We're in the 6th inning now. The way these two guys are pitching, you get a little bit more aggressive defending these bunts. If you get a shot at that lead runner, you're more likely to take it later in the game than you are early when you're just defending against the big inning early on. You got to be careful going over to first base in this situation, because if the first baseman's crashing already and you step off, there's nobody to throw to. That's a balk. Tough to pitch that bunt up there around the letters.
Samardzija usually wears 2 batting gloves, maybe not wearing one on the right hand because of the finger today, and he was able to get it down with 2 strikes. That'll go 2-3 on the sacrifice.
I always thought of him as a good 2-strike bunter. He's got a solid 2-strike bunt approach. And looking down at that finger again. Yeah, I don't know. It's still bugging him. This is a problem all day long, but he's been able to pitch through it. And this is, as bad as his form was on that one way up, this is outstanding. You see how he uses the legs to stay low instead of taking the bat and dropping the head of the bat down? You do that, you change the angle, you're just going to foul it off. That was a clinic right there.
Downstairs on to Jesus.
Every out, every base becomes more important the later you get into the ball game. Situation here where David Bell, the third base coach, is going to want to be aggressive, sending Ransom on a base hit. Good outfield arms here for the Reds, all the way across. Bruce, Chu, and Paul all throw well.
Bender for a strike. 1-1.
Litos perhaps sensing the importance of this confrontation, taking a little extra time here with DeJesus and a man in scoring position. He has thrown 69 pitches. Good day to pitch. Nice and cool.
The kick and the 1-1. Hard hit grounder, but it'll be Phillips to Votto for the second out. Runner at third.
Man, he's had no luck today. He's hit the ball hard.
The thing about DeJesus, the process means a lot. Good quality at bats, hit the ball hard. I think if he does those things, the temporary frustration of not getting a hit a little more quickly goes away.
Yeah, well, especially for such a good professional, and he's been such a good hitter for a long time now. Yeah. If he was a younger player just trying to establish himself in the league, it might be a bit more of an issue.
You know, there are no perfect at bats where everything goes exactly how you plan it. But there's definitely a game plan for David every time he goes up to the plate. Latos with a 1-1. Bourbon with a bunt, but he hit it a little too hard. Barehanded play by Phillips. And the Gold Glover gets him. Good thought, just couldn't execute it. Still 0-0. The game. Here you go, JD. Tell Cub fans something we don't know about you. From Steve M.
Steve, I'm an open book, man.
What haven't we covered?
What? Yeah.
You don't have to answer it this second. Think about it. We want it to be a good answer.
Yeah.
5-6.
Yeah.
Brandon Phillips to deep right. Sherholtz to the track. He's got it.
Phillips with a sparkling play to end the top half of the inning. Puts a pretty good charge in this one. That's a hang with him.
How about your Andy Griffith show connection?
There you go.
That'd be good. We haven't talked about that during the broadcast.
Otis the Drunk, Hal Smith, who played Otis the Drunk on the Andy Griffith show. Wasn't born in my hometown, but spent a number of his formative years in my hometown. And I got to meet him when I was playing.
Was he on the wagon?
He was. He was. We had lunch in L.A. I had my wife and two daughters. My oldest two. They were little ones at the time.
Do you know the name of the actor off the top?
Hal Smith, I believe.
Okay, I believe he made a good living as a character voice for.
Yeah. He was Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh, bother. And, you know, Buck Showalter, I mean, he could recite every episode of the Andy Griffith Show like verbatim. He's the go-to guy for Mayberry trivia.
Hal Smith was born in Petoskey, Michigan. Foul tip strikeout. 8 for Samardzija.
I'll tell you how it came to pass. Somebody asked me in an interview one time, you're from this little town in upstate New York. You must be like the most famous guy. I said, no. Among others, Hal Smith, Otis the Drunk, is our claim to fame. And he read that somewhere. He called the clubhouse, and we struck up this friendship. He got to be a real good buddy with one of our clubhouse guys in Houston. giving me all the dirt on Helen Crump. It's great. Aunt B.
All the dirt on Helen Crump. That's good. What about Howard Sprague?
Not so much on Howard.
Yeah.
Samardzija, like most guys who throw that split finger pitch or any kind of a fork ball, they'd start with that grip and then come off of it if they want to throw something else. You don't want to start fastball and then have to dig to get that split finger grip. That would be a sure tell.
Back Frazier off the plate.
It's tough now. I mean, with all the video, all the analysis, all the eyes that are on you, you got to be very careful. Take your glove. If you just rotate your glove, 30 degrees one way or the other, and on a breaking ball, say, the hitters will be on it.
Deep to center. DeJesus will just watch it fly. Wow, that was crushed by Todd Frazier. Way atop the batter's eye.
Wow. I mean, I lost track of that ball.
Yeah, they've got a little party area that is in the shape of a boat. And it hit the deck of that boat.
My goodness. I knew he had some power, legitimate power, but I didn't know he had this. He really gets extended through this one. Samardzija knew it as soon as he hit it. That's our Ford home run replay, and wow. That's just a bomb.
So the Reds strike first here in the bottom of the 6th.
That's Willie Mopena territory up there.
Abandoned ship right above the University of Cincinnati sign there. And normally there are a lot of people up there, but with the weather today, not occupied. One and two to Paul. A birthday wish to send out. Troy Keegan, happy 24th. East Moline, Illinois. And also John Anderson. It's from your daughter Tamara. .480 feet for Todd Frazier. That might be the longest this year. Remember, Rizzo's last week at Wrigley Field was .475. Was the Reds' 7th hit of the day. The Cubs have just 2.
They're saying it's the 7th longest home run in the history of this ballpark.
And a 2-out walk to Paul.
I suspect a handful of those top 6 or 7 belong to Adam Dunn.
Mesoraco will bat, 1 on, 2 down. Sharply hit grounder to Castro. He will flip to Valbuena. They force Paul to end the inning. Reds get a homer from Frazier and lead 1-zip. Some high fives around. Just over 100 pitches on the day.
Looks like his work is done. Another solid outing for him. Better than solid. Way above average. Just the run support not there, but got 3, 4, 5 due up here in the top half of the 7th. They'll be getting their third look at Matt Latos, so maybe they can inflict a little damage here.
And a reminder, it's Earth Week. Walking to work is cheap and eco-friendly. If you can't walk daily, try once a week or commute by bike. Green is universal. Well, Matt Latos back in 2010 with the Padres set a major league record. He allowed 2 runs or fewer in 15 consecutive starts with at least 5 innings pitched. Last year finished second in the NL with a .778 winning percentage. As you mentioned, they gave up a lot to get him, but he's not even 26 yet.
Yeah, they had a need. Big horse to be one of the front men in this rotation.
Swing and a miss.
That's the thing. I think, the Reds are one of those clubs. If you were to ask opposing players, hey, who's the best starter on the Reds, you might get 3 or 4 different answers. Cueto, Latos, Homer Bailey.
Somebody say Chapman. He's their closer. 1-2. Well, I just think the timing of the Latos deal made a ton of sense. I mean, yeah, you're giving up a lot in return. And some good young players who may be Padres for a long time to come, but the window is now.
Yeah, well, and if you have depth in your organization, you can afford to give up a lot to get that big piece. So even if outsiders evaluate it and say, boy, you gave up too much for this guy. Well, as I mentioned, they got Votto over there at first base, so Alonso wasn't going to take his job. They really like Mesoraco behind the plate. It'll be interesting to see down the road how that shakes out, Grandal versus Mesoraco, because the little bit I've seen of Grandal over there in San Diego, he looks like he's going to be a pretty good guy.
Latos has been very chatty today with the home plate umpire Jordan Baker. Here's a 1-2. Latos wanted that one, didn't get it. Look at the pitches.
Away, away, away. This one.
That was better than Mesoraco made it look. And that will roll into center. Castro at a certain point just realized Latos is going to hit the same spot again. And he did.
Yeah, it wasn't hard contact, but it was enough. Castro, one of those guys we talk a lot about. If you're going to try to get him to swing and miss, you got to go, you know, beyond the norm when you're expanding the strike zone. Way up, way out, way down, way in. If it's around the plate, he's normally going to be able to put wood on it.
Couple of South Florida guys battling here, and Rizzo has hit the ball hard twice. The last time to the warning track, retired on a very nice play by Chu. Here's the 0-1 on the corner, 0-2. Fastball outside.
We'll show me elevated fastball. See if they can get Rizzo to chase. He's more likely to chase if it's in and up than away and up. I think that's an easier pitch to see and lay off. I think that's just a show me pitch anyway. Looks like they're going to go slider down and in.
Rizzo able to hold that check swing.
Talked earlier about Latos using all quadrants of the strike zone. He's got down and away fastball, slider down and in. He threw that high heater, so he's made Rizzo aware of pitches all over the zone. I suspect he'll go back to that two-seamer down and away. No, they're coming back in.
Castro not running, and Rizzo pops into center. Chu coming on. He will get there, and that'll send Castro back to first.
On Sunday, May 5th, bring the whole family out to watch the Cubs take on the Reds. It's a 120 game. And the first 5,000 children 13 years of age and younger will receive a Color Your Own Cubs t-shirt complete with a marker set. Then at the conclusion of the game, the first 1,000 children 13 and younger will have the opportunity to run the bases. For more information or to purchase tickets, Cubs.com.
Castro still at first, one out. It's Nate Scherholtz. A strikeout and a flyout. Castro runs. Here's a throw. He's going to be out by a mile. Mesoraco throws him out. 2 down.
And Mesoraco throws well. Latos earlier in his career was pretty easy to run on, but he's tightened that up a little bit. He was really quick to the plate with that delivery. Throws high, but Cozart had plenty of time to catch it and then apply the tag to Castro.
One out to Scherholtz. Wide for ball 2. Latos from the first base side of the rubber. Missed again. Navarro on deck. Latos without a walk today. 3 base runners for the Cubs. A double by Bourbon in the 4th, singles by Ransom and Castro in the 6th and 7th, respectively. 3-1. Tight, low-scoring affair today here in the rubber match. 3-2.
Came up empty, but not a bad time for a big swing. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Nobody on base. It's a good time to cheat. Try to unload on one. Now go back to that line drive approach.
And he hits a ground ball to Joey Votto. Latos on the bag. Leadoff single, no runs. Stretch time in Cincy, 1-0 Reds.
One to nothing, and the Cubs just can't get anything going against Matt Latos today. The starting pitching in this series for the Cubs has been, well, it's been that good right there. It's been lights out. Travis Wood on Monday, 6 1/3 of 2-run ball. Carlos Villanueva yesterday almost went the distance, allowing just 2. And then Samardzija, despite the finger issue, 6 very good innings. A real blemish, that 480-foot blast off the bat of Todd Frazier. That's the only run in the ball game. So again, the Cubs starting pitching has really stood tall this entire month of April. Now Sean Camp out of the pen. He's been out there 9 times. 0-1 with a 10.29 ERA. He's had one particularly disastrous outing. 7 innings, 11 hits, couple of walks, 7 punch-outs for the veteran right-hander. And he'll have Latos and then the top.
Latos 1 for 2 against Samardzija. And now facing Camp. Camp has a side from Navarro, and his 1-0 is in there.
Cubs are still in pursuit of their first 2-game winning streak of the year. And James Russell getting ready.
A slider for a strike.
It was back-to-back outings for Camp on the homestand, where he got in trouble first against the Giants. And then the Rangers allowed 4 runs in an inning and 2/3 against San Francisco.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
He's a very animated guy. Chatting up the home plate umpire Jordan Baker much of the day.
It's like a chatty Cathy dog. Outside to Chu.
How to win friends and influence people, right? You might as well strike up a relationship with that home plate umpire if he's willing to listen.
Base hit. Chu is 2 for 4. Keeping that on base percentage in the 500s.
If Chu's a glass is half full guy, he's like, man, I'm locked in. I'm really good. If he's a glass is half empty guy, he's thinking, I can't keep this up forever. I'm not a 400 hitter. Somewhere out in front of me, there's a bad streak, but you got to ride it as long as you can.
And my guess is he's trying not to think at all about it.
His batting average on balls in play is way up over 400, so there's going to be a little bit of a regression there.
But if he gets hit by 10 pitches a month, that'll help, unless it puts him on the DL.
The ultimate risk-reward strategy.
This is how weird a year it's been for the Cubs pitching staff. The starters have had a lot of bad luck. I mean, Samardzij's ERA is at 3.03. The Cubs can't get a run or two here. He's going to lose his 4th straight. Carlos Marmol leads the staff with 2 wins. And he's a reliever.
Yeah, well, you're having a hard time scoring runs. That's what happens. A lot of times those wins end up in the bullpen. And it's not just the lack of runs, it's the errors. The Cubs, there have been 1,400 runs scored on Cubs starting pitching this year. And that's partly on them. Absolutely on them. In a couple instances, Feldman and Edwin Jackson both made big errors, costly errors. They hurt their own causes. But you have to pitch around errors sometimes, too.
Ransom, Valbuena, Rizzo. That's it. 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. 1-0 Cincy. Sportsnet Plus, Anthony Rizzo and the Cubs take on the Marlins in Miami. Tune in as the Cubs look to jumpstart their season in South Beach. Watch Cubs Marlins Saturday, 5:30 for the pregame on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Marlins are off today after a day-night doubleheader split in Minneapolis. They have not won 2 in a row this year, and will go into that series at 5-16. So Latos still working into the 8th. And we've got a game that has gone final in D.C. The Cardinals have swept the Nationals. The Nats had 4 runs the entire series, 4-2 the final today. Jaime Garcia beat Steven Strasburg, who's 1-4. So Strasburg is 1-4. His ERA is 3.16. So he's not getting much luck.
No, that club's not scoring a lot of runs either.
They're under 500 now, 10-11. The 0-1 to Navarro is a called strike.
They were swept in a 3-game series earlier by Atlanta. That outstanding starting pitching of the Nationals is supposed to kind of make them losing streak proof. That's a theory anyway. They've lost 4 in a row, 5 of 6. Still wouldn't bet against them, but you know, I really like that rotation.
Blue Jays a 6-5 winner at Baltimore in 11. The Orioles lost in extras. That hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, 11th inning. Toronto scored 1 in the top of the 11th to beat them.
Let's see, the Orioles had won 16 in a row in extras.
Yeah, well, maybe 17. I thought
17, yeah.
Batista, Encarnacion, Davis, and Aaron Sebia all went deep for Toronto.
A 2-2 on the way to Navarro. It's full 3-2. Imagine if Deanna reaches. Dale's thinking about a pinch runner. We'll see. First things first, he's got to get on. Payoff delivery. He is aboard.
Litos made it easy on him to lay off that 3-2 offering. Spiked that fastball. So 3rd consecutive inning now that the Cubs have had the leadoff man reach.
Travis Wood's going to run.
It's the value of having good athletes in your rotation. You can use them in a situation like this.
If Wood were starting, my guess is Jeff Samardzija would be running. Leadoff man on. Frazier ready to charge at 3rd, and Valbuena doesn't show bunt at all.
Yeah, in a game like this, when you're down a run late and they've got the Cuban Missile crisis out there in the bullpen, Chapman, the hard-throwing left-hander, you like to have as many right-handed bats available on your bench. So use your pitcher here to pinch run, save your resources if you need to pinch hit a bunch of times with your left-handed hitters. There's always the possibility of extra innings too, so you want to try to save as many guys as you can. Not the possibility, but the way this series is going, I would say the probability of extra innings.
2-0, so Litos issuing his first walk to Navarro, leading off the inning, has now fallen behind Valbuena.
Yeah, well, pitch number 100 coming here, so fatigue may be part of it. I think probably more than that, though. It's you get into the 8th inning, 1-run game, you start to pick a little bit. You don't want to make a big mistake over the plate. Just human nature. He pitches beautiful ball game. You're this deep in the game when you know one mistake could cost you. Tendency to get a little tentative.
Wood takes off. Valbuena pulls it foul past Dave McKay. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry. 10 at bat delivers Cubs baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or go to Cubs.com for details. The 2-2 to Valbuena. A foul pop-up. And the count holds. 16,288. A paid crowd on this soggy Wednesday.
We had a taste of springtime for a couple of days. Showed you that graphic earlier. Valbuena has been really good in this ballpark.
Another 2-2 and a ground ball toward left. Cozart will just eat it. And the Cubs are in business. First and second, no outs.
Rusty Baker out of the Reds dugout. Looks like a pitching change is on the way. Nice swing here by Valbuena. That two-seamer moving down and away. Takes a shot at that hole. Cozart able to glove it, but had no play.
Latos done, 7+. He leaves with a 1-0 lead, but the Cubs have 2 runners on. It's the Honda call to the pen. We'll be right back. Honda call to the pen. Right-hander Jonathan Broxton. 2 on, nobody out, and facing Cody Ransom.
Broxton 0-1 with a 7.36 ERA. And, pretty much all that damage came in one outing where he gave up 6 runs. The guy got hit in the hand with a comebacker in the opening game of this series. He's taken out of the game, had precautionary x-rays, no break.
Got 2 outs, gave up 1 hit.
Fastball, slider, and a cut fastball is what he brings to the table. Reds looking for a bunt here from Cody Ransom.
Here's a pitch. Ball 1. Alfonso Soriano on deck to hit for Camp.
Turn him loose.
I'd think about it. Now Latos will just sit and watch. He was excellent today. Maybe ran out of gas a little bit here in the 8th.
I'd turn him loose.
Mazaraco will throw to first. 2 to 3. Second and third. With one out.
Good job by Ransom getting that bunt down, and now big opportunity for Soriano. We thought he had the day off. He had most of the day off, but this becomes the most important plate appearance of the day for the Cubs.
Stole second and third last night in the second inning. Scored on a sac fly.
Reds will concede the tying run here. A ground ball in the infield.
Deep breath by Broxton, and the pitch, and Soriano broke his bat.
Go ahead run in scoring position, so the Reds keep the infield back in their home ballpark. They're willing to trade an out for a run here, take their chances with their bullpen.
Tying run at third is Travis Wood, a pinch runner.
Got a lot of big arms in this Reds bullpen. Their average velocity for their bullpen is among the best in all of baseball.
Yeah, they're all about 6'8". The 0-1 and 0-2. Now Broxton's thinking punch out.
Yeah, that was
healthy one.
That's kind of the downside with Soriano, who swings and misses so much. This is a situation that really calls for contact, and hope he can make an adjustment. He's got his shirt unbuttoned there. 95 miles an hour, a little running action. Soriano covers that outside part of the plate very well.
In.
Yeah. In again.
Huge second out for Broxton.
Well, this is having a game plan, executing it, and not straying from it. Not really thinking about trying to set up a hitter, just sensing his weakness and Broxton's strength. Big, hard-throwing righty, but throwing 95 miles an hour, and they just continued to pound inside. Soriano not able to lay off, nor was he able to catch up to it.
Here's DeJesus with 2 outs. Cubs are 0 for 5 so far with men in scoring position.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that DeJesus' turn in the order wasn't up with 1 out and a man on third. He's probably the guy Dale Swain would say he would most prefer to see up in that situation.
Our AT&T UVerse multi-view. Broxton trying to get out of a jam created before he was even in the game. is 1-0. He's on the outside, 1-1.
In his career, Broxton has held left-handed batters to a .215 batting average. Actually, a little bit better than he's done against righties. Shades of the Nasty Boys with big arms at the back end of the bullpen for the Reds. Dibble and Charlton, Myers.
If they can't get it done here, it'll be Chapman later. Broxton's 1-2. DeJesus just able to get out of the way. Bourbon on deck.
David right up on top of home plate, so he can go out and get that outside pitch. So they got to do their work in on him. He's not going to yield. Good battle here. If you believe in things evening out, DeJesus got a weak hit coming to him at some point. Hit the ball hard today, but he's nothing for 3.
Pulled to right, and it will land just foul.
It's that blooper we were looking for.
Cubs would have taken the lead.
Got in on him, but almost. A little bloop double. I would have scored 2 easily. Jesus broke his bat. He's going to have to get a new one. Broxton's cracked a couple here in this inning. Got Soriano. Now he's gotten to Jesus. Yeah, Reds team bus pulls up to the hotel. They probably figure they got a football team coming.
Still 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Cozart will pick it up. The throw to first. He got him on a huge play. A potentially game-saving defensive gem by Zach Cozart. And the Cubs stay off the board. have tied the game at least. But Zach Cozart, we're talking between innings, and I agree with what you said. I thought he was just going to try to keep it on the infield, but in fact, he gets the out. What a play.
Yeah, it's an outstanding play at a big time in this game for Cozart. To Jesus, man, he's hit some buzzards luck today. Off the bat, he probably thought he had given his club the lead, and if nothing else, at least a tie game. Cozart, it wasn't his intention just to knock that ball down. He went ahead and made the play.
So James Russell will try to keep the Reds at 1. And a first pitch strike on Joey Votto. Aroldis Chapman will get the 9th at this point. Matt Garza was supposed to pitch for AA Tennessee today, but he's going through a bit of a dead arm period, so he'll be pushed back a few days. Seems to be a muscular issue, not related to the elbow, and hopefully it's not a big deal, but Cubs will give it a couple of days. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Cubs Destinations provides fans with the most unique behind-the-scenes VIP games experiences available. Each package includes great tickets, first-class hotel accommodations, a special Cubs gift bag, a tour of the ballpark, and a private meet and greet with a current Cubs player. For more information, visit Cubs.com.
Brandon Phillips 0 for 3. Cubs have announced the April 17th rainout against Texas has now been rescheduled Monday, May 6th at 7:05 at Wrigley Field. So if you have tickets for April 17th, they will be good for admission on May 6th. Also, the Cubs have updated a pair of start times. Friday, June 7th against the Pirates, Friday, June 21st against the Astros. Those two games will start at 1:20. Cubs were scheduled to have an off day on May 6th and then again on May 9th with a 2-game series that week against St. Louis. But they'll have the makeup now on that Monday versus Texas.
Punch out Joey Votto has struck out 3 times now, twice in this series.
That's the thing. You handle Votto in the series, and you'd like to win the series. But today it's been Todd Frazier with a home run, the only run of the game.
I think Votto struck out 3 times in a game, only 3 times all last year. To do a quick perusal of his game by game, I might have missed one, but Scufflin. The Cubs have pitched him really well.
Change up in the dirt. Count even at 2-2 as sinker baller Cameron Lowe is playing catch in the bullpen. Ground ball to Valbuena. Phillips retired.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA Red Line stops directly at Wrigley Field at the Addison station. For drivers, DeVry University offers remote parking and bus service for $6. Or try riding your bike and use the Cubs courtesy bike check, sponsored by World Bicycle Relief. That's located on Waveland near the corner of Clark. For details, visit Cubs.com or call the CTA hotline.
Top of the ninth, it'll be Bourbon, Castro, and Rizzo against Aroldis Chapman. 1-1 to Bruce. Bruce from Beaumont, Texas, two-time All-Star, won a Silver Slugger last season. You were here on September 28th of 2010 when Jay Bruce hit a game-ending homer in the bottom of the ninth that clinched the division for the Reds. Final Tuesday of the season.
Yeah, he wore out the Astros. At least that's my perception.
This will end the inning as Bourbon squeezes. Julio will lead off the ninth, unless they pinch hit for him. Ridiculous strikeout numbers. Lefties haven't done much against him. That's why Julio Bourbon will not bat. It'll be Dave Chappelle.
I don't know that I might be inclined to pinch hit for Ted Williams against Aroldis Chapman.
He struck out the side on Monday night.
In his career, left-handed batters are batting 101 against him. 14 hits in 139 at-bats. As opposed to the robust 170 right-handed hitters are hitting off of him. But at least they have a fighting chance.
So it is Dave Chappelle. 2 for 4. The double, a walk, an RBI, stole a base out of the leadoff spot in game 2.
Chapman has allowed 1 run this year. It was a solo home run by the Marlins' Justin Ruggiano. Jumped on a high fastball off Chapman, 94 miles an hour, hit it into the seats.
And the pitch is a strike called. We saw his velocity increase as that inning went along Monday.
Talking with Chris Welsh, the analyst for Reds television, he said it's kind of been the norm, 93, 94 for the first couple pitches, then ultimately building up to 99, 100, at 95. So get him early, I guess.
kinds of interesting debates about where Chapman fits in the best in this pitching staff, whether it's as a starter, whether it's as a closer who can occasionally go more than an inning. All I know is when he's in the game, you don't feel like you have a lot of chances if you're the opposition.
No, and you don't. I think where he's wasted maybe is too strong of a word. I mean, most times it's not a one-run game in the ninth. Right? More times than not, he's in a safe situation. It's a 3-run lead, a 2-run lead. There's nobody on base. The inning's clean. So, you know, I certainly understand the argument. People say he should be used in higher leverage situations and bring him into the 8th with a couple men on base if you don't want him to throw that extra inning. But at least use him when the game is, you know, most on the line.
2-1 to Castro. Well, today it was Broxton who escaped, setting it up for Chapman.
Aside from the fact that the 9th inning is the last line of defense, when you look at the way this game was played out, the 8th inning, Broxton's job much more difficult than Chapman's.
They're like a moral victory as the Cubs put a ball in play for the first time in this series against Chapman.
Been a miserable series for Anthony Rizzo as he gets ready to head back home to South Florida.
Foul tip, 0-1.
So you could argue, well, why are you sending a left-handed bat up there with all the numbers we just gave you? But, you know, with Rizzo with his power, at least you got a puncher's chance here that he could run into one and knock one out of the ballpark.
Chapman coming home on a 1-1. Hit foul. It's 1-2. Reds trying to end this homestand at 8-2.
Quick stroke there. Chapman up to 98 with that fastball. In case you're wondering, he's allowed 1 home run in his career, his big league career, to a left-handed batter. Anthony's had good swings today, just missed a home run back in the 4th.
Ground ball, base hit in the right on 98.
Quieter approach, quicker swing. That's a good AB there. That's a great AB.
Only hit of the series. Keeps the Cubs alive. The thing about that fastball at 98, it's straight. Doesn't make it easy to hit, but clearly Rizzo timed him well. Scott Hairston bats for Sherholtz. For a strike. I don't think Chapman enjoyed giving up that hit. 99 and 98 on his next 2 pitches.
Tug on Superman's cape.
On a hop to Cozart. He gets it to Phillips. And the Reds take 2 of 3 A combined 5-hit shutout for Latos, Broxton, and Chapman. Jeff Samardzija, tough loss. He has dropped 4 straight decisions.
It's a gutsy performance by Samardzija today. He allowed 7 hits. The one big one, the home run by Frazier. But pitching with that injured finger, he really gutted it up and really battled. But Cubs just could not get to Latos and the Reds bullpen.
And our GMC professional grade player of the game is Matt Latos, who got the win. We'll give an honorable mention to Zach Cozart for that great defensive play. But Latos went into the 8th today and was excellent.
7 innings of 4-hit baseball. He had been winless this year despite some very good starts. Took care of business today all by himself.
So for JD and our entire CSN crew, Len Casper saying so long from the Great American Ballpark. Final score, the Reds 1, the Cubs nothing. We're back on CSN Plus, 6 o'clock on Saturday, pregame at 5:30. The Cubs and the Marlins. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live is next.